Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to set up a long middle island. A lot of people have been asking me to explain my own setup because since I've made the last video, the best base for 2020, which was I believe at the very start of this year. So I mean it's been a little while. 9 months? My middle island has changed quite a bit. Things have changed as far as we have a howitzer tower, which has changed the game. I say changed the game. It hasn't been as influential as Flax were, because, when Flax came out, that, blew everyone's minds. But the howitzer is definitely something that is worth investing in. But this video is not for those who are under level 400. You can have an island like this at level 400 technically, but if you are building your base up the way you should be, really I would keep with a setup where you have your kill island on this island, and then you have a couple towers that are lower level on this island, and you only level up these 5 towers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at my video, search up best base for levels. I think it was 200 to 300 or 150 to 300, something like that. And check that video out. That video, I believe, has not changed as far as the setup wise. Anyways, this is more for those who are getting close to 500 and you have a setup where you have this on as your kill island, and you have a couple towers that are starting to get to a higher level. So let's go ahead and talk about my current setup. Now you may notice that I do not have the Howie on this island. My howitzer is leveled up and it's right here. Now, the reason why I have it there is because, really for 2 reasons. One, I like the back end of my long island. And this howitzer has killed so many dragons because people forget it's there. And also, people are less likely to super shot it. If you don't want to super shot the howitzer ever, it is not a good idea. You want to just let it do its normal shot because it does way more damage. But a lot of people tend to want to, super shot it because it's a good tower. So it's, back here, less likely to have someone put a super shot on it. That way, you can, actually kill a dragon. So let's go and get started. What do I have as a setup? Now, you may notice I do not have a blue mage. And people find that surprising because I fly Haws in all the time, and I know the blue mages are the only thing that will potentially stop a Hazen from cloaking. The deal is, y'all, if a flyer is good enough to fly Hazen, it doesn't matter if there is a blue mage or not. Even double blue mages, if it's here and here, for example, if I had double blue mage instead of double reds, that's still, if the flyer is good enough, he can still deal with that. So I basically said, screw it. If they can beat me with Hazen, good job. So instead, what I've done is I've kept with the double reds to defend against Naja. I don't really see Namaka anymore, but this does help against people using Death Gaze. Gig, this is really, anti-Gig. If you are, still if you're level 400, Gig is still definitely a problem. So, there's a good reason to have double reds, and also this back red protects these back towers. So that's the reason why I have double reds. As far as the towers go, I like having the earth flag up front. I don't like it having in the back. A lot of people have the earth flag right here, and let's say they have a fire flag and a dark flag. The problem you run into is, let's say they're using Hazen or they're using Lockjaw, they can freeze that earth flag before you get those HP shields up. So I prefer to have it in the middle or even in the front, though the middle, in my opinion, is a little bit better, so that as soon as the dragon turns a corner, the shields go up and you are set, and you have that HP buff and the shields are active. So that's why I have it in the middle, and then I have a dark flag. Obviously, a dark flag, pretty much everyone should have a dark flag. That is the golden rule. It is a very solid tower. So you may notice that recently I've gotten rid of the fire flag that I had. So this was actually my recent setup. But I changed it to double ice to combat a dude from Rulith named Lionheart, who basically taught me how to fly Lockjaw by absolutely demolishing like every base on my team, triple defended. So yeah, I found that even while I've been flying Lockjaw, that a double ice really messes him up. And this combats Naja. But you can have either a blue mage back there, which I would not suggest, or if you're most people, what I would personally do is I would have, by the way, triple lightnings, way to go, for sure. Those lightnings destroy more dragons than anything else on my base. 100%. But if you do not have the ice flak, I would put the howitzer in the far back. And the reason why the far back and not here, okay, a lot of people are like, yo, I'm just going to put the howitzer here. The reason why I would say not there is because it is way easier to kill the howitzer if it is in front in the back instead of the far back. If there's a lightning in front of it, it is unbelievably difficult to sand or use stasis on it using Hazen. And because of the new glitch that happens to where basically the howitzer shoots before you can even see it, that still remains true even if it is in the far back. So I would not put the howitzer here. I would put it in the far back. And because lightning towers are tall, not even just visually, but because of the hitbox of lightnings, because they are taller, it is harder to hit past them. So actually what happens is these lightnings technically protect the howitzer. So I don't want to say you have to kill the lightning before you can hit the howitzer, but it's much more difficult. And it is very difficult to freeze it with, let's say, Lockjaw, because you have to wait even longer to get there before you can use the spell to freeze it. So that is my personal opinion on where to put the howitzer, is in the far back right. The left is a little bit easier to freeze, but it's kind of up to you in that respect. I just personally find it very useful in the back, and I like the double ice. And the rest of the setup kind of remains the same. The Storm really is effective against Kralos, because if I get hit by Kralos, all I do is I super shot the Earth Flak, and then the Storm, and then super shot these three, and nothing else. Basically, these double shielding towers protects from the blast that Kralos does, as well as it makes sure, because a lot of people are dumb and they use the one-shot spell on shields instead of the one tower that they can actually hit. And I say dumb, I don't mean it dumb, but they don't tech the base beforehand. So they're like, oh, let's kill the red, but the red is shielded, So that is the reasoning behind the setup. I personally find this very useful. Very, very, very few people will be my base defended, if I'm defending at least. The only few people that have are like Lionheart, Mythic Dreamer, a couple people from A&D. But basically the really good flyers. If the majority of flyers cannot beat this base. So I know it is effective. I have seen it in action plenty of times. Rune-wise, if you're curious, I just have, exotics. Exotic Earth Flak HP, Dark Flak HP, and then a bunch of stuff for attack and HP. By the way, I would always go for HP if you can on towers, except for lightnings. Lightnings go for attack. I said in my video I like the lightning HP because of Lockjaw and Mordred. And I stick to that. I think the HP is much more beneficial than the attack on that exotic, but as far as everything else goes, you want to get the strikers for lightning, and basically just go full lightning runes and glyphs on the back half if you go for lightnings. And if you do not have lightnings yet and you're low 500, work on them. Flax in the back, let's say this is your setup. Hold up. Let's say you got, this is a fairly common setup, I think. You got this. I don't know, this is a weird setup now. What else would people have? Maybe an ice turret. Yeah, ice turret or fire turret. If this is your setup, right, the issue with this is that these towers here, these back towers, are going to be useless pretty much until a dragon gets to about where this red mage is. Lightnings, however, have a much farther range, and the super shot of those things hurts like a mother trucker. Okay, so lightnings just come into action faster than these towers. So let's say you have an island like this. Hopefully you don't have these towers maxed out yet, but if you do, I would transform them into lightnings. I know a lot of people don't like transforming flax, which I completely understand. If that's, the position you're in, maybe just you work with what you got and start working on lightnings so you have like a third island like I do. And this third island right here, because it's in the back, it means that they can't get to 50% before they get to this island. And that makes it really difficult to counter me in Alice. And Alice, of course, is, what I do. So yeah, that is my current setup, the reasoning behind it. If you enjoyed, let me know down in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.